Greetings. I thought I would do a video of an unboxing of this Potholder Pro Loom kit from Friendly Loom. The one that I wanted was the Harrisville Designs Pro 10-inch loom, but apparently either there wasn't any available or they stopped making it. I'm not sure. I don't remember what my husband said, but I wanted one for Christmas. I've wanted one for years. I know I always buy them for my young nieces and nephews, or, you know, my step-grandkids a while back too. And it was just looked fun. It just looked like something that I wanted to do. And I kept putting it off and putting it off, and finally I put it again on my Christmas list. I ordered an extra pack of the Pro Size Mini Pack 10-inch looms. This makes 2 pot holders. And then I ordered this Potholder Loom Design Book, 140 Colorful Patterns by Rachel Snack for the HD Harrisville Designs. There were a couple of the books that I had looked at, and I may get one more, I'm not sure, but I thought I wanted to try one of these designs. I thought it might be fun than to just do my own design, because, you know, I'm just not particularly creative. That's what I want to say. I just want somebody else to be creative for me, and then I can get to just follow the pattern and do it. So this shows you the many different designs. It gives you instructions on how to put the loops on the loom and how to do the weave, which I'm sure it probably shows in the box as well. I'm going to go ahead and unbox this. Okay. So in the box you get potholder design ideas, but maybe I'll follow one of these for today and use what they've given me in this pack, which it looks like pretty much the same colors. Anyway, they show you can make a purse out of the pot holders. I think I'd like to make this one. But I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to substitute. But a lot of really cool, fun designs, I think. Okay, so you get that, and you get this, looks like for more weaving projects, look inside. So it looks like they're giving you some more ideas on what you can do. Here's like a lap loom, which that looks kind of interesting. I don't know if I would buy that. I don't know if that's for me. So it looks like they have some other kinds of kits. These coasters look kind of interesting, knitting. I've done latch hook in years past, and I may try to do some more latch hook because I did enjoy it. Tapestry weaving, easy weaver kit. You get your instructions. Get your bag of loops just like this, and I think this is supposed to make 2. I think that's what it said. Yeah, to weave 2 pot holders. So you have to get 2 pot holders in this and 2 pot holders in this. I may at some point get the smaller one, which I'm thinking is like 7 inches. It might be 7 or 8 inches. I don't remember. For smaller ones to make maybe some coasters. It's all 100% cotton. Yeah, cotton loops, which means they shrink. And what I really wanted them for was to use for trivets in a way. And, you know, I could double them, sew 2 together, or we'll see how thick they turn out when I make them, because I don't really know. I've never made one. And then you get this little, I don't know what this is, little pamphlet. I guess just more advertising for more of their kits. Felting is always something that I thought looked a little interesting. I may try that at some point, but I don't know. And I still think that chucka rug was something I did enjoy. I've tried knitting in the past. I just couldn't get the hang of it. I just couldn't. That might be something I try again too, but not right now, that's for sure. So I'm going to put this other bag aside, and you get a 6.5 millimeter crochet hook. And this is your weaving tool. Okay, got my iPad. Let's see if I can get it to take a picture of that. Okay, so here is my camera. Let's see if I can get this code. And it looks like it will take me to the Friendly Loom. Okay, so here we can see on the website for Friendly Loom, there's tutorials, kits, loops, weaving other. Yeah, and there's construction going across the street. Well, half a block away, and on the corner they are building an apartment building. Used to be a parking lot to a small theater that played movies as they were getting ready to leave the big theaters. It was a cheaper seat theater, which, like I said, they've had for years. And that parking lot was where they all parked when they went to the show. So I don't know where they're going to park now, or else they're going to do something different with the theater. But you'll be hearing the sound of construction from probably every video till, I don't know, the rest of the winter and rest of the summer. I don't know when they're going to get it done, but it's noisy and it's irritating. Bothers my dogs too. But anyway, it's nice to know that there is this website that you can go to and click on different ones that show you different patterns. Paper dolls, they look like little dolls. You know that if you can go to friendlyloom.com, you probably don't even need to scan the code necessarily. Okay, so I'm going to just dump them out so that I can find what I'm looking for. And I'm going to start with the substitution of these colors, but it looks like they're using two different colors of purple, which I don't think I have two different colors of purple. That really doesn't stretch the greatest, but these are like two different colors of purple, so I can definitely use that. This is a lighter color, so I'm going to put this on my loop here. It's probably why they use the crochet hook, I don't know. And then the next one looks like the same color. And then I have, it looks like a dark purple. I'm assuming that's purple. It definitely looks purple. They do stretch pretty good, but you can kind of hear it when it stretches. It just sounds like you're ripping it. And here's a little piece of it already when you stretch it out, that it snags a little bit, which that's not good. I can imagine that coming apart. Anyway, so I'm going to try to go back and follow that. So there was two of the light purple, two of the dark purple, two of the light blue. So I got two of the blue, and then I need two of the green. And I think I'm going to use the lime green. And I can tell you, you probably would not get two of the same color if you wanted to make two of them that look just like this, you wouldn't have enough of the colors for sure. You would have to choose a different pattern that used other colors, or just do the same pattern but with different colors. Okay, so that's the bottom, and it looks like now for the top, this is going to be interesting. I don't know if I'm coordinated enough to do this. I'm going to go back and look at the front. So it shows you that when you weave it through, you loop it on. So if I'm going to do the same color of purple, which is, dropping my mic, which is this one, it looks like you loop it like this to pull it through, but you must pull it through every other one. Okay, so I'm missing loops. This shows you that you loop the whole thing through. Now I don't know if one side would have been better than the other, but I'm going to do this and see if that works better, because I don't know. You might not be able to get it through if you do it the other way. I don't know. But that works. So see, I goofed coming through here. Doggone it. Like I said, I don't know. So it's like, for me, the crochet hook was harder to use than my hands. And I'm wondering, I know it wants me to do it this way. It wants me to grab it like this and pull it through. But that doesn't look like that would work very well. I mean, if you turn it sideways, yeah, see, I don't know, the tool is just awkward, but it pulls it through pretty fast, I guess. Well, maybe. Okay, so I'm going to loop this here, and I still have a hold of this side. I don't know. Like I said, this is, I don't know, you would never be able to divide it in half and get it to stretch. I'm just saying, because these are tight enough. See, you can lose it pretty quickly, but it's also my angle. I'm going to turn it this direction. See if I can get back a hold of that, but it's not going to matter at this stage because I already got it pulled out. But I know that I need to go under this one, over this one. Under this one and over this one. Where's my hook? Okay, so maybe going the other direction, you almost need it to use the tool because it's so tight. Okay, so there's the first one, going the other direction through. So every one that you went under before you go over, and every one that you went over, you would go under. So that's how they get the weave pattern. You know, if you were a little kid, I mean, I sent these to little kids. I don't know, maybe it's like the, are you smarter than a 5th grader? It's kind of reminded me of that. And I don't know if I'm smarter than a 5th grader these days. See, I'm losing it. So here I goofed. So I'm going to still finish this out because I've already got it all the way through, but I could see how that might get confusing. So oh my gosh. So see, I don't know if I got that right. Do not. But I'm going to pull this off, and I'm going to have to take it back through to here. So I don't know if some of you guys have probably been doing this since you were a kid. I never got to do anything fun when I was a kid. My life was abusive, pretty abusive. And we were very poor because my dad spent all of his money on alcohol and cigarettes. And so there was no money left for anything. Barely enough food, probably not enough food, and definitely not for toys and fun stuff. I remember going over to my neighbor's house and kind of not really understanding how they happened to have so many toys, because I didn't. And I remember, I think I've told you before, I have what they call, it's going to be too much information, dissociative amnesia. I might have mentioned it before, but I completely don't remember the first 12 years of my life. Well, bits and pieces, and more now than probably I used to, through therapy and that kind of thing, but let me go through here, and I'm not going to let go of that other side. I'm going to try to get it to loop on there and pull it through. There you go. All right. So let's see. Anyway, so I don't remember much. And what I do remember, they were mostly, some things, bits and pieces, are good times, but I remember I had a Barbie doll. And back in the days, they called it a living Barbie. If I can find a picture of it, I'll put it up there. But I remember getting that Barbie doll. And it's about the only gift I remember ever getting was that Barbie doll. I was 10 years old. And that would have put it back in 1971. My dad took me. And, I remember walking in the toy store and just remember seeing all of the toys, and I was just totally blown away. I was just in awe that there could possibly be that many toys in the world. It was just unfathomable for me as a 10-year-old little girl. And I don't remember the trip over. I don't remember the trip back. I vaguely remember playing with the doll when I took it out of the box, but I don't remember anything after that. I don't remember playing with her ever again. But, there were reasons why my dad took me, and there's reasons why I don't remember. But I'm getting off track, I guess. But anyway, what I was saying is I didn't get to do these kinds of things. So I think that little girl in me that sees these wants them. So here is one, and I don't know whether you can see that very well. But see, this is one I wouldn't really want to use. So I'm not sure. I would have to almost take a look at the Harris Designs loops and see if they're of much better quality. But I'm not going to use that one. So we're going to go back to here. So now I used the two purple. And there are a lot of blue over here, but there are no more of that might be a purple one. They're just really, There's a lot of these blues, and there's at least 2 more of this color, which apparently I'm going to need because I'm going to be redoing that loop when I get to the other side. But there are, yeah, see, there just isn't. And there's just a difference. You can tell that this one is the dark purple, and there are no more dark purple in this package. So I'm going to keep those 2 out because I'm going to be using them, and I'm going to need that one. So I'm going to have to open this bag and see if they've got another dark purple. So maybe it's a good thing that if I ordered the exact same ones, then I might get a dark purple. So no dark purple. Well, that sucks. Well, I guess I'm going to put that in the review. So there is only one of these because I need to duplicate these 2 and I need to duplicate these 2. So I'm going to have to use this blue, and instead of doing 2 purple, I'll do 2 blue. And I'm going to stick those back on, and then I will turn it back on. I swapped out the purple and I put the blues in, these darker blues instead. And we'll go from there. So the next one is blue, so again you go over and under. So I'm going to not drag you through this whole process, and I will come back to you when I get to the end. I think you see the hang of it. Every other one is over or under, and then you go under over. And before I did this small one, so I'm going to try this larger loop and see if it's see, I think the smaller loop is better. So I would use that end, but I'm going to make sure I hang on to this as I pull this through. Get this side hooked on. Yeah, see, they're 2 different size ends. Get off there. There's a bigger one and then there's a smaller one, so I would definitely use this one. This one's just almost too big. And then here is where, if you take this, it does help to get that on there. And then you push them up as tight as you can. And then just, I would go back and just make sure that you've got your, the right pattern. I mean, I think if you goof, I mean, geez, it's a pot holder, I don't think it's worth, having a fit over, but I'm going to finish this and then I will come back and we'll see what comes next. Okay, I'm back to put the last 2 loops on, and I will tell you that the closer you get to the end, the harder it gets to use this tool. And if you have any problems with your hands, like I do, this is very difficult. So I think that I would have to come up with something, make my own, I don't know what, to hang on to this. Maybe there's another tool that is more ergonomic, I don't know, but this is not great for your hands. And something I would suggest too, that as you're going through, make sure that you start pushing these up a little bit better, because if you notice as I'm getting down here, I mean, I've tried, the closer I've got to this end, to push these up as I go, and I've been using this tool, and I'll show you here in just a minute, but I've got 2 more of these loops to get on, and it is not easy getting this tool through this end. And even if I had pushed that up a little bit, I don't think it would have made that big of a difference. It still would have been pretty difficult. But getting it through, I mean, you really have to use your hands to manipulate this. Now I thought, okay, well, what happens if I just do, you know, one at a time, and I may try to do it to let me get this out of there and see if that makes any kind of a difference, because as I will show you here, if I can get it out, like right here, I caught, when you're pulling this back through, when it gets so tight, you are literally catching some of these little bitty strands of thread. So here, from about here to about here, it was pretty slick. You know, you looked it on, you pulled it through, it just came through really quickly. Then, like I said, you know, make sure you pull them up. But this down here on this end just doesn't work great. So I'm going to try it this way to see if I can't, because I don't know, that's just really, really hard on your hands, and I don't know if even I can do it this way. Oh, for heaven's sakes, let's try. I think it's because this isn't particularly, you know, whoops, got a large enough hook. You know, if it was a little bit deeper, I guess I want to say a deeper hook. But I know that this needs to go underneath here. Getting hold of it is hard. Over, and this one has to go under. But here towards the end, that seems to be, even though you might think that it feels or looks more cumbersome, I will tell you it's easier than using that other tool, because that's just really hard. And like I was saying before, I wished that I would have, you know, pulled them up a little bit tighter. So here is where I just used the crochet hook or that other tool to kind of pull it down. All right, whoops. Now I pulled that pretty tight. We'll see if pulling that down will help, because that stretched out quite a bit there at the end. I can get that loop in there. Okay, wow. Okay, that was tough. That was tough. And I have all these other loops here. I gotta stick them in a baggie. Okay, using the plastic hook, pull off the first loop at the top right side corner. Keeping the first loop on the hook, move to the left and put the hook through the second loop, pulling off and through the first loop. You will have one loop left on your hook. Okay, well, you know, you would think that those instructions would have been with the other thing here. So let's see. Pull the first loop off onto the hook, pull the second loop off the hook, and then pull the second loop through the first loop. Okay, so I'm assuming that that's what I do all the way through. My sister started making those these crocheting now. My mind just wanders. I make some crochet. I do some crochet with Afghans, or mostly Afghans, I guess. I don't know if I've made anything else ever with crochet. Scarves, a few hats. But my sister's been making those, Yamaguchi or I don't know, I'll have to put the name up there. Those animals. And what started it for her, I think, was the support pickle that people have been crocheting. And I may have to see if I can do that. I don't know. I don't do well with patterns, crochet patterns. They're just difficult for me. Something simple is not too bad, but the more complex a pattern is, the more I kind of freak out a little bit. But she made the cutest little chicken. And she asked if I wanted the pattern. I'm like, no, I don't think I want the pattern. But I have a friend who's been making some of those little guys, and I'm like, oh no, am I gonna really have to try that? I don't know. But it just kind of looks like, because it reminds me a little bit of just a regular crochet chain stitch. Whoop! See, don't do that. But that is so easy with these threads. Let's see if I can get it to pull through there. But it's not as easy as I thought. Like I was saying, I sent it to the little kids and they did it. But they probably struggled a little bit. Okay, well, I'm going to finish this and get to the end, and then I will come back. Okay, so I want to show you what happened. So as I rounded the corner on my third section, the loops just came off. I mean, and so this last one here isn't kind of looped through anything. I stepped away from it. A couple of days later, came back to it, trying to figure out how I was going to get it back on the loom so that I could, not lose this potholder and waste the loops. I thought about just, leaving it where it was, calling it good, but there was a part of me that was still just determined. So I pulled the instructions back out again, and plain as day, it does say here on the last step, which I think it was this one, step 3. But this says, before working on the second side, anchor the finished edge of the potholder to the loom by pulling one of the middle loops over a peg, which is like right here. And I'm just saying, I don't know how that would have happened, because once you're taking these off, it just really shrinks up, as you could see before. And one loop, I mean, these are going to be really stretched out, and probably after you wash them, they may just shrink back in and it'll be okay. The one loop wasn't holding it very well, so I looped a few more loops. But it says this keeps the tension on the potholder and will keep the potholder from popping off the loom. You can also hook a paper clip through a loop to secure the potholder to a peg. It took me a while, but I did get the second one of these purple loops on and got it back through the weave to keep the design. So I'm going to try this again and see if I can do it. So here's where I am going to pick this up again and loop it through. And then the next one, I'm going to see if there's a good way that I feel like I can knot it. My dog. They are making more noises the older they get. Okay, so now I'm on this last loop, and see how these kind of got pretty stretched out. I'm hoping that I can maybe pull them in a little bit here. And anyway, when I wash them, that they'll also get shrunk up in there. So here's this last loop, and I'm going to pull it through, and then it says to pull it tight. But that to me is not secure at all. So I will find a way to tuck this in. I'm not sure, because probably not going to hang it up. I'm probably just going to stack it in my drawer in my kitchen after I wash them. But anyway, I can work that in, continue to work this in, I think, down. I lost a little bit of my corner look, but I'll get it back here, I think, once I tuck that in. But there is the finished pot holder with the design. So I think I can live with that. Thanks for watching. Take care, stay safe, and be kind.